My name is Alex. In 2015, I left Jamaica and moved to the US. I now travel across the country with my cat and my FG Cruiser. Last week, I shared how beautiful the Colorado National Monument was, but how paranoid I was the whole time that I was going to roll off the hill. I had to chalk all my wheels, and my RV was on level the entire time that I was there. After leaving Colorado, it was finally time to cross into Wyoming for the very first time. So here's how that went. So it's actually kind of funny that I'm working on this video today because yesterday I retraced my step and actually went back from Wyoming to Colorado, and I ended up being stuck at this exact same place that I had been complaining about on my way into Wyoming. I'm trying to get out of this dirt road of construction.
Well, that is good. You're making progress.
Yeah, I guess so. Can't believe they have me off-roading today. Yesterday, when I was stuck at that same spot for an hour, I couldn't believe that they had made zero progress, or at least it looked that way. But the rest of the drive into Wyoming was really beautiful, and this time I planned my gas route out way better so that I wasn't running on fumes trying to find a gas station. And then it finally happened. I crossed the border into Wyoming and saw this beautiful lake. I got to Wyoming around sunset and it was a tight fit, but I managed to get in there. Meanwhile, Shadow was making friends with the squirrels. He really loves returning to Erin's house. That was the first time that I met her, and we've been good friends since. Shadow even made friends with Erin's cat. I believe that's Story that's in the window looking out at us. So once I got settled, I decided I wanted to go find that lake. I showed the video to Erin and asked her if she knew where it was, and she told me it was Alcova Lake. I looked it up. It looked even more beautiful in the photos, and I just knew I had to go see this place in person the next day. So, of course, my idea of enjoying the lake is going to get the paddleboard, which is usually in the truck at all times anyway. I did have some trouble getting the fin on that day for some reason, but once that was done, it was time to hit the water. If you're wondering about my precariously perched keys, they were hooked onto the paddleboard, and I also had dry bags for my electronics. I had a great time at Alcova, but it was time to move on to the next attraction in Wyoming. The Natural Bridge is part of a beautiful, quiet, peaceful park. I am just sorry I didn't get to spend more time there. It was a work day, so I just drove in to see it and then had to head back to work. While I was there, I did see some RVs. It does look like a great spot for camping. However, I would warn against trying to bring a big rig in there. I didn't really see any spots that looked big enough to fit one. On top of that, the road there was a little nerve-wracking even with just the FJ and not my RV. The road was narrow and winding, and I just could not imagine someone trying to tow a 40-foot fifth wheel down those roads. wanted to show me her happy place, which was this beautiful mountain hike with a waterfall. The last thing I did in Casper was to go to this local festival where I found these beautiful succulents. I really wanted one, but I was 100% sure I was going to kill it. The ladies convinced me, no, you cannot kill it. It is unkillable. Well, they have not met Alexis. I killed that plant. I'm sorry to say I buried him last week. I'll be okay. But the real reason we went was for the gumbo. The downside to the gumbo was, it's food from the south. So they put sausages and everything. And so even the seafood options had sausages. And I am pescatarian. I do not eat sausages. I also didn't really like the fact that they weren't too careful about like not touching your food and sticking the finger inside the cups that you were going to eat out of. I mean, we are in a pandemic, but the food was good and none of us got COVID, so that's a win win. Next week, I'm going to share my trip from Casper to Hot Springs County and what my first impression was of this new spot I tried out in Wyoming. So, what were my first impressions of life on a farm in Hot Springs County, Wyoming? Well, I guess you'll have to wait until next week to find that out. See you next Friday. Bye.